Football is beautiful, but it is not all shades of beauty. As much as there are several exciting moments associated with this beautiful game, there are a couple of heartbreaking moments that might even leave some football fans traumatized. From Ronaldo's last match at the 2022 World Cup in Qatar to Christian Atsu's last goal, these are some heartbreaking moments in football. Christian Atsu's last goal. Former Ghanaian international Christian Atsu played football for the last time on the 5th of February 2023. And in this match between Hatayspor and Kasimpasa, he scored his team's only goal. The goal was a dying minute goal and it helped his team get the maximum points in this match. Although he had no plans that it was going to be his last, in the end, he wasn't going to play football anymore, as shortly after this match was an earthquake which hit Turkey and Syria, and although no one saw this coming, Christian Atsu was a victim of this earthquake. Atsu's last moments for his club were some of his happiest and might have passed as just any moment in the team's history. However, the fact that he died not long after wearing the Hatayspor jersey makes his last moments very significant for his club and also heartbreaking. Furthermore, it is a moment fans of the former Ghanaian international might not recover from in a long while. Brazil's heaviest defeat. Speaking of not recovering from a moment in a long while, Brazil's 2014 World Cup defeat on home soil and in the hands of longtime rivals Germany is one that they really might never recover from. This defeat was painful for several reasons. Chief among them is they were playing on home soil and really hoped they would be in the finals. Additionally, they lost by an extremely wide margin. As much as the Brazilians might never recover from this defeat, one could give excuses for them as they were without talisman Neymar and reliable defender Thiago Silva. In the absence of these key players, the Samba Boys were really a shadow of themselves. Neymar was supposed to be running the show, but in his absence, Toni Kroos and Thomas Müller dominated the game, and this helped the Germans score 7 goals in a World Cup semi-final match against a top team. This is a feat that might never be replicated in World Cup history. Messi walks past the World Cup. The 2014 World Cup was devastating for Brazil. However, the Brazilians were not the only ones that were heartbroken in this tournament. Argentina also did not get what they wanted out of the 2014 World Cup. Finishing second and losing by a very narrow margin did not seem so bad for the Argentines. However, it was not a good thing for Lionel Messi, who came very close to winning the tournament. Before going on to win the World Cup in Qatar, the closest Messi came to this trophy was when he received the medal prepared for the second-place team. The 2014 World Cup in itself was not a bad tournament for Lionel Messi, as he scored 4 goals and even came very close to scoring in the final match. It all seemed okay when Argentina and Germany were yet to score. However, the dreaded moment in this match came just a few minutes to the end of extra time, and Mario Götze gave his country the lead they had long anticipated, and that was the end of Messi's World Cup dream. It all seemed like football when Germany won this match. However, the pain of defeat became clear when Messi walked past the World Cup without being able to lay his hands on it. Beckham's 1998 World Cup red card. Messi's failure to win the World Cup in 2014 was heartbreaking. Well, regardless of how heartbreaking it was, at least he had something to hold on to for participating in the 2014 World Cup. Just like Messi, Beckham couldn't achieve his dream of winning the 1998 World Cup as his team got disqualified in the round of 16. Now, getting disqualified in the round of 16 was bad. However, the manner in which the English team exited the World Cup was even worse. Their star player, David Beckham, was given a red card. The former Manchester United player did not get a red card because he was rough. On the contrary, he was given a red card because of his reaction to a challenge from Diego Simeone. This moment might always be a big one for football fans from Argentina, but football fans from England were heartbroken when Beckham got sent off, as his absence in the game was perhaps one reason his team failed to progress to the next stage of the 1998 World Cup. Zidane's 2006 World Cup final red card. Speaking of players whose red cards at the World Cup reduced their team's chances of being successful, the world will never forget the moment French and Real Madrid legend Zinedine Zidane was sent off in the World Cup final match between France and Italy. Before the 2006 World Cup, Zidane was considered one of the best players in the game and was well respected. This World Cup was going to be his last, and it was obvious the best way to end his career at this point was to lift the trophy. As much as fans expected him to lift this trophy, they knew his team could lose. So this wouldn't have been a problem. Unfortunately, Zidane bowed out of the World Cup in a way no one saw coming. He assaulted an Italian player and Christian Eriksen collapsed on the pitch. Football players are some of the healthiest people on the planet. They are very mentally alert and also really physically fit. Unfortunately, even the healthiest of people get sick sometimes, and this was exactly what happened to Christian Eriksen in a match against Finland in Euro 2020. He had just received the ball, and while he was looking to make something out of this pass, his heart stopped beating. This incident happened at about 5:43 p.m., and it almost seemed like the player had passed on. According to Morten Boesen, Denmark team doctor, Eriksen was gone. At the time of his collapse, no one was close to Eriksen, so it was difficult to understand what happened to the Manchester United player. Things were bad, but somehow Eriksen survived, and 9 months after this incident, he was back to professional football. The end of Ronaldo's 2022 World Cup dream. It's easy to say Ronaldo has won it all on the club scene. However, his international career has not been as beautiful as his club career. The Portuguese player is a 5-time Champions League winner and a 5-time Ballon d'Or winner. That's not all. He won Euro 2016 with Portugal. But apart from his success at the Euros in 2016, he has not won any international tournaments. Portugal had an early exit at the 2018 World Cup, so after making it to the quarter-final of the 2022 World Cup, it seemed like he was on his way to winning his first World Cup. Portugal had to go through Morocco, and this did not seem like a Herculean task. Well, the Portuguese ended up losing to Morocco, and this marked the end of Ronaldo's World Cup dream. At the blast of the final whistle, unlike other players that stayed back a little to exchange jerseys and applaud the fans, CR7 simply walked into the tunnel with his hand over his face. He knew this was perhaps his last chance at winning the World Cup. Even if Ronaldo makes it to the next World Cup, he might not have a lot of influence on the game. So it is as good as saying Portugal's loss to Morocco was the end of the road for CR7. Portugal's loss to Greece in Euro 2004. Speaking of Portugal's performance in international tournaments, Ronaldo and the entire Portuguese team had a great tournament in Euro 2004, which was played on Portuguese soil. In the course of this tournament, they eliminated England, and at this point, it seemed like they were going to clinch the trophy. The final match of this tournament came, and Portugal faced Greece, who were underdogs, so it did not seem like there was anything between the Portuguese national team and this trophy. Well, the Portuguese were wrong, as they ended up losing to Greece in a match that will always remain one of the most heartbreaking for football fans in Portugal. Losing on home soil was terrible. However, even worse was losing to a team that was generally considered weak. Ronaldo and Rooney feud. When Rooney and Ronaldo were in United, both players were considered one of the most dangerous attacking duo in Europe, and together they won several trophies. Beyond being great partners on the pitch, they were also considered good friends. As loyal as they both seemed, their friendship was tested in the 2006 World Cup, and unfortunately, it failed the test. It was the quarter-final match of the 2006 World Cup, and Rooney had fouled Ricardo Carvalho. He was going to get a red card, and this was a problem in itself. However, things became worse when CR7 came on the scene. After Rooney's red card, CR7 winked at the bench as he had successfully eliminated one of England's most effective players in this match. Well, United fans felt he betrayed his friends, and this action broke their hearts. Switzerland's 2006 World Cup exit. At number 1, we have the round of 16 exit of the Swiss team at the 2006 World Cup. This team was not exactly a strong team. However, they did not concede any goal in 4 matches at this World Cup. In the round of 16, they were up against Ukraine and none of the teams scored, so the only way a winner could be picked was through penalties, and the Swiss team lost at the end of this match. Although one could say they did not deserve to be at the quarterfinals as they were not particularly a great team, but it felt unfair that they got eliminated even without conceding a goal. And it's a wrap on heartbreaking moments in football. Which of these moments do you consider the most heartbreaking? Please let us know in the comment section below. Before moving on, hit the like and share buttons. Also, subscribe to this channel to see more videos like this. See you in the next video.